The life of our Holy Father among the saints, Saint Birinus, Bishop of Dorchester-on-Thames and Enlightener of Wessex, as compiled by Vladimir Moss. Our Holy Father Birinus, the Enlightener of Wessex, was of Italian, or according to some accounts, Irish origin. Early in the 7th century, he was sent by the Pope to preach the gospel in the inner parts of England where no teacher had been before. He was consecrated to the episcopate for this task by Archbishop Aserius of Milan. Then he boarded a ship at Genoa for England. However, at that point he suddenly remembered that he had left on the seashore his anti-mention, a portable altar cloth containing relics of the saints, upon which the divine liturgy is celebrated, without which he could not perform his apostolic ministry. But putting his faith in God, he boldly stepped out across the stormy waters, recovered the anti-mention on the seashore, and walked back to the ship, which stood as if immobilized in the middle of the sea. The sailors were astonished to see that his vestments were not even wet. Arriving on the coast of Hampshire in about the year 634, the saint discovered that many of the inhabitants were not Christian, so he decided not to travel further inland. An old woman who had been blind and deaf for several years was told in a vision to go to St. Birinus, and he healed her by making the sign of the cross over her eyes and ears. St. Birinus then travelled to the court of King Cynegils of Wessex, who welcomed him and gave him permission to preach to the people. In 635, King Cynegils and many of his people were baptized by Birinus in Dorchester-on-Thames, which became his episcopal see and the centre of his ministry. The king's sponsor at his baptism was none other than the future great king martyr Oswald of Northumbria. Lovely indeed and well-pleasing to God was the relationship between the two kings, says St. Bede. In 636, Birinus baptized King Cynegils' son, Cuichelm, at Dorchester, and in the same year, Cuichelm reposed. In 639, the saint also baptized Cuichelm's son, Cuthred, and stood sponsor for him. But Cynegils' other son, Coenwulf, initially refused baptism and became Christian, not through St. Birinus, but through St. Felix, Bishop of Dunwich, in East Anglia. In 650, St. Birinus reposed and was buried at his episcopal see. In about 690, St. Hedda, Bishop of Winchester, removed his relics to Winchester, and they were translated into a new shrine by St. Ethelwald, in response to a divine vision on September 4th, 980. The Orthodox Church celebrates the memory of St. Birinus of Dorchester-on-Thames on December 3rd, and the translation of his relics on September 4th. Holy Bishop Birinus, pray to God for us.